Tonight's theme, 12 Angry Men. A courtroom drama. No, not a courtroom, sequestered jury drama. 12 men. And I don't think any of them would consider themselves angry when they walked into the room. In fact, they all seemed in pretty good spirits at the outset, especially considering the fact that they had literally had the life of a young man in their hands. And they seem almost glib about ending that life and getting back to their own. 12 men. Juror number 1, football coach, which I think makes him a good man to be the foreman, and he is the foreman. Juror number 2, a timid man who just wants everybody to get along. Juror number 3, a self-made businessman estranged from his son. Juror number 4, a detached and analytical stockbroker with little compassion for the poor, which the man on trial is. Juror number 5, a healthcare worker from the slums. Juror number 6, a house painter, blue collar. Juror number 7, a salesman with tickets to the big game that night. Juror number 8, an architect who is the one man who votes not guilty before they start their deliberation. Juror number 9, an elderly man, don't know what his line of work was before he got old. Juror number 10, a mechanic, deeply prejudiced against people of color. Juror number 11, a German immigrant and former refugee. And juror number 12, an ad man. Tonight we have exactly half that many men telling stories and reading poems. We did Promising Young Woman back in May of last year, and I got it, and it was an all-woman cast. We got all men tonight. It was an all-woman cast, and I'll tell you, I got to tell you, they were way more badass and angry than the guys you're going to be hearing tonight. But then maybe women have more to be angry about than especially more than a bunch of white men, right? Which is what the jurors in the 1957 movie were. The 1997 remake of the movie had 5 black men in the jurors and one Latino. It was James Edward Olmos, and I think he might have been playing an Italian, a European. I think that's true. And one of the black jurors seemed to be from Nation of Islam, and he was the prejudiced one in the movie. He's the one that didn't like Latinos. So the young man on trial is a Latino, and there is prejudice, but is prejudice synonymous with anger? I mean, there are a lot of angry white men in the middle of this country today who, may be prejudiced, but also are truly afraid and angry because they honestly believe that people of color are displacing them and robbing them of their power. Downtrodden white folk. Would the kid in this story get a fair trial from a jury of them? Downtrodden white folk are probably closer to being peers of this kid from the slums of New York than the jurors in the movie. Okay, so a peer defined as a person who is equal to another in abilities, qualifications, age, background, and social status. So how are you going to find a jury of 12 peers of a Latin kid from the slums? Right? How are you going to find a jury of peers for Donald Trump, for that matter? I mean, he's a billionaire who's been the president of the United States. And if you did find a jury of peers for either one of those two guys, would they be more likely to acquit or condemn them? It's not peers that attorneys are looking for during voir dire, it's prejudices, both for and against. And the judge has some say over this, and the judge in the 1957 movie didn't seem to give two shits in hell about how the how the thing turned out. The judge in the 1997 movie seemed to be a little bit more compassionate, but then she was a woman. If any man in this story should be angry, it should be the young man on trial. Nothing but bad has ever happened to this kid, and mostly through no fault of his own. He's on trial for killing his father, a truly despicable man, a gambler, a thief, in and out of jail, abusive to his son. So maybe he did do it. And maybe if he did, it was in self-defense. Maybe his old man deserved to die. Maybe he did. Maybe this kid did the world a favor. Nobody in the story proves that he didn't do it. They just finally decide that there was reasonable doubt. So he got a fair trial, peers or not. But see, the whole concept of angry men, boys mature more slowly than girls. They're always coming from behind. They remain childish longer. And childishness is emotional immaturity. And all through this developmental time for boys, they're constantly being admonished to be tough, don't feel pain, don't show emotion. Girls are encouraged to be emotional, to care, to be motherly. Emotions let the steam out. Bottle up those emotions, and you're very liable to engender anger.